The person, be it a gentleman or a lady, who has not the pleasure in a good novel must be intolerably stupid. This quote is from the Northanger Abbey, written by Jane Austen in the 18th century. It may sound quite a bit extreme to hear it, but when you understand that it was actually a witty comment from one of her many characters from her novels, it makes more sense. It's a take on the society labeling novels as less worthy of reading than other books. Greetings everyone, my name is Kat and I'm so excited to do this video today and talk with you about one of my favorite writers of all time, the English novelist Jane Austen. And my adventures in England where I lived. I went to places where she lived and places that she mentioned in the book. I definitely didn't force anyone to come with me. Without further ado, should we start? The Regency Era, from 1795 to 1837, it was a period of significant cultural, social, political change in Britain. Society was sharply divided by classes, the aristocracy and gentry on top, and followed by the middle class, and then the working class. While the countryside remained important, cities like London were growing rapidly, leading to urbanization and industrialization. The Regency period is known for its elegant fashion, with women wearing empire waist dresses. Balls, dinners and assemblies were popular social events, especially in the upper class. When it comes to the political side, Britain was at that time at a war with France, which has a significant impact in the economy and on the society itself. The abolition of the slave trade was a big major political achievement. What about culturally? This era saw a big rise of the romantic movement. Classical music was really important and musicians like Beethoven and Mozart were being really popular at the time. Theatre was a popular form of entertainment, with plays and operas attracting large audiences. Women were faced with many limitations. Their lives were largely defined by their social classes and their marriage status. Marriage was often seen as the only way for women to secure financial stability and social status. Excuse me just a sec. However, some of these women managed to escape these societal rules. One of them being of what? Jane Austen was born on December 16, 1775 in Steventon, Hampshire. Growing up, the Austen children lived in an environment of open learning, dialogue, creativity. Their income was modest, but sufficient to provide for their needs. Her parents had 8 children. Why? 6 boys and 2 girls. Jane Austen was particularly close with her sister Cassandra. Austen began writing at a young age, often entertaining her family. Jane's father fed her interest in writing by supplying his books, papers, writing tools, and to allow her to explore her creative side. Upon the father's retirement, at the age of 27, Jane Austen and her entire family moved to the town of Bath. Her father will end up passing away, and the family stayed in different renting houses in Bath and also in Southampton for a few years. Edward, one of her brothers, was able to provide his mother and his sisters a large cottage where they ended up moving to and where she continued to write and revise her work. Jane Austen ended up passing away on 1870 at the age of 41 in Winchester, where they ended up going to try to have a better healthcare. She was then buried in the Winchester Cathedral. Despite her talents, Austen faced challenges in getting her work published. Women writers were often overlooked, and publishers were hesitant to take on new unknown authors. Austen often published her works anonymously under the pen name a lady. This was a common practice for women writers in that time, as it was considered inappropriate for women to open pursue literature careers. Why are men so scared of women? Well, Austen was respected by her contemporaries and her works were well received. She did not achieve widespread fame during her lifetime. Her novels were popular among a limited readership, especially among the educated elite. Two of her works, Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, were published during her lifetime, and Mansfield Park, Emma, Persuasion, and Northanger Abbey were published after her death. Her novels are celebrated with wit, social commentary, and insightful character studies. Jane Austen's unique perspective as a woman writer during the Regency Era was shaped by the social constraints and expectations of her time. However, she was able to use these limitations to her advantage, creating insightful and witty observations about the social world around her. Austen also used satire to criticize the social norms and expectations of her time. She exposed the hypocrisy and superficiality of the Regency era, particularly in relation into the gender roles and class distinctions. Austen novels often have a strong moral compass, emphasizing the importance of the virtue, integrity, and good manners. She encouraged her readers to think critically about their own values and to strive to personal growth. Her characters aren't perfect, and that's what makes people even fall in love more with her characters, because we can relate so much. Sometimes they make mistakes. We are so lucky to have had Jane Austen in this world. I love the fact that I am reading her books and I ended up forgetting that they were written 200 years ago. Honestly, the fact that society is not that different from 200 years ago. Life ain't worth living. While I was editing, I found out I didn't actually mention anything about where I actually went, which is basically the subject of this video. So I just decided to travel back in time and I'm going to explain it now. I think I will divide the video into places that Jane Austen lived and places that she either mentioned in the books or that were used as filming locations. Sorry, I'll actually do another video because otherwise it's just too big. No one is going to want to see all of this in one. We start with Southampton. Really funny because I lived in Southampton and I only have 10 seconds of filming there. I went to next to one of the houses that was apparently a pub, but now it closed, so now it's just there. Then we have Shelton. Well, they basically have a museum in the house that Austen's family used to live. She actually lived with her family. You can see some like everything. You can see her kitchen, her bedroom, the table where Jane Austen actually wrote. I thought on jumping and go there, but I don't think it would be wise. The wallpapers from before, and basically they explained they just recreated, you know, but still the same wallpapers, paper. Not very far from the museum, there is a very big house that was owned by Austen's brother and is now, I believe, a gallery and a library. So I think it's definitely worth to go. I didn't because it wasn't economically wise for me to go. If you have the possibility, I think it's very nice since you are there already. Next stop is Winchester. Winchester was actually so pretty. I kept saying on the video, it's quite similar to Oxford in some ways, like next to the river. You can eat a lot. We went inside the cathedral where she was buried. For the second part of the video, I will show you the Cotswolds, the traditional English countryside. You can experience how it was before, and I think it's so nice, you know, so I really recommend it for you to go. Then we've been to Storehead. Yes, you know, I've been where Lizzie had a proposal. I went to Oxford. I could do another full video of Oxford. Jane Austen always mentioned Oxford, you know, it was already a known city back then. And in the end, I went to some places that she mentioned in of London. And we have Bath. We decided to go in Jane Austen's festival. No, Jane Austen festival is like 1 week. I think a little more than 1 week actually, where all the fans just go and there is a lot of activities to do. You have balls, you have classes to dance and to learn, you know, the Regency dances. Um, However, a lot of the things were sold out already, so sadly I didn't. So I just went to see the parade. Basically, I will explain you throughout the video. I think I just have my phone and my dreams. We'll see. I think if you like her novels, you have to go there. If you are in England, you have to go to Bath, really.